From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant.
On play action, it's Murray. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
We play to win. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready. You're 50. Play. Oh, you got deep? No. Ball. Protein spill. Buzz. Jet. Set. Go.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Come on, fellas.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm going to hit you all.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 59.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not
he rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. His throw incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This will be taken at the 10. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, you see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no...
Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray now. Buying time to his left. They've got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
I I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. 3rd down here.
Check 59. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Throwing again, Murray. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Love. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 41. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
I'm here all day. Begin.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Give him 18. It's a Carolina 1st down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. From 17 yards out. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Come on, baby.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Murray. And on the connection, this is Ryan Izzo, complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And some room to roam now. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now this time, Murray to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you feel...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A final shot before break. Love eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. with McCaffrey. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Ready, 50, clear. So we got man. Ready. 58, boys, 58.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 24 yards.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. They're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they ended up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
46-yard line.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
The 22-yard line.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's McCaffrey. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Taking it about the 16. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Murray now on 1st down. That's going to be caught. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Gotta do better.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. And this is incomplete. A disappointing drop there on 4th and goal. And the Panthers will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use him at this point. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Carolina, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the